was busy thinking about
Some spicy wings, crinkle cut fries, Mountain Dew on the side, light ice. What could possibly go wrong?
I am simply unable to feel emotion.
POV, you've been sketching for hours. And now it's time to flip the canvas.
People in the city of Bilbao recently woke up to a disturbing sight. A sculpture in the river Nervion depicting a young girl, eyes wide open, who appears to be drowning. To the surprise of many, the 264-pound fiberglass statue was placed in the water in the middle of the night. Its chilling expression greeted curious onlookers in the morning. As the tides of the river rise and fall, more or less of its haunting face is revealed. It's the work of a Mexican artist named Ruben Orozco. Titled Bihar, which means tomorrow in Basque, the work of art is meant to provoke conversations about sustainability and climate change. The artist told a Spanish news outlet that he wants people to consider how, quote, their actions can sink us or keep us afloat.
Took a break as we escaped to my Decatur love. Girl, you're red as a dream and I'm ready to break you off.
People hate more than Jeff Koons. Yep, and his name is Anish Kapoor. Why do people hate him? It all starts with the color Vanta Black. What is that? So basically this company discovered a new black, the blackest black. Okay, and artists can only use the colors that they have available to them, so when a new color comes out, it's exciting. So what was the issue? Well, Mr. Anish Kapoor decided he's gonna buy the black and own exclusive rights to it. No other artist could use it, except him. So basically all the artists were up in arms. They're all pissed, especially this one artist, Stuart Semple. Who is that? He's just this color mixing, color loving artist who creates paint for all artists to use. He was so pissed, he was like, I'm gonna make the pinkest pink and everyone can use it except Anish Kapoor. Here's the statement. That's great. It was until someone in Anish Kapoor's studio got their hands on the pink and Anish Kapoor posted this on his Instagram. Not very nice at all. Okay, and then what happened? Everyone was up in arms again, and Stuart was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the blackest black, Black 2.0. Anish Kapoor won't have rights to it. He worked with chemists and artists all over the world and created Black 2.0, which Anish Kapoor doesn't have rights to. Anish Kapoor threatened to sue him with a lawsuit. That's a terrible look considering Anish Kapoor is rich and the Stuart guy doesn't have any money. Yeah, it never actually happened. But yeah, that's why everyone hates Anish Kapoor. Wow, I never knew the art world was this petty. Did you?
In some ways, my sketchbooks are very normal, simple drawings of simple things. Friends, family, people on the train, views from my home city, even things I ate. This kind of art might not attract a high price, not as much as a banana taped to a wall, but I believe in this kind of work, especially now. Ordinary life is precious, and it can change quickly. In my last video, I talked about making art that is grounded in purpose, and this is what I mean.
Let's talk about sketchbooks while I give a slower than usual tour. I think sketchbooks are the future, and here's why. Most artists have a sketchbook whether they use it much or not. They have a book where they sketch things around them, plan pieces, and practice things. And that's not a new thing. Da Vinci, Picasso, Monet, Van Gogh, they all had sketchbooks. And yes, not all of their sketchbooks were as colorful as a lot of ours are today, but still, people don't really talk about them as much as they talk about actual pieces. Why? Because one, they weren't as interesting because they were usually just like rough sketches of things around them and planning pieces. And two, they weren't marketable. There's always been a market for landscapes and portraits and completed pieces like that, but people don't really want to part with their personal sketchbooks. But I think today that's starting to change. First of all, we're using our sketchbooks for more than just planning and practicing for a completed piece. We're using them to try different mediums, styles, and ideas. In my sketchbook, I have paintings, I have collages, I use different mediums. And then second, I think people are starting to realize how personal and telling a sketchbook is. Some of the subjects, mediums, and portrayed emotions might never actually make it onto a canvas. In fact, most of the things in here, I don't think I would ever paint on an actual canvas. And lastly, we don't have to part with our sketchbooks in order to share them nowadays. With social media in the digital world, we can share some of our messy and incomplete and weird art with the world without having to give it away. And I'm hoping to one day be able to publish my sketchbooks. Anyways, let me know in the comments whether you disagree or agree, because I'm curious to hear what you all think.
I mean, where the fuck should I really even start?
They know what is what, but they don't know what is what. They just strut. What the fuck?
I got 3 looks, and that's it.
Well, look who's inside again.
I'm telling you, gaming is my therapy. You fucking piece of shit!
Here are 3 effective ways to improve your art skills. Number 1, complete a 100 challenge. This is the challenge where you draw the subject you're trying to learn 100 times over. Now this can be portraits, hands, backgrounds, expressions, anything you're trying to learn. You can split this up into 5 to 10 drawings a day until you complete 100 drawings. Number 2, study from art books. This is a great way to see a variety of different artists' styles and work process. Art books can range anywhere from tutorial books to behind the scenes of movies and animated movies, as well as collections of artists' work. If you're an artist, I strongly recommend you invest into art books. Number 3, do some warm-ups before you draw. I recommend anywhere from 3 to 10 minute warm-ups drawing circles and lines with your right and left hand to get your hand ready to draw. A warm-up I like to do is to time myself and draw random characters within 2 minutes. Thank you for watching and follow for more tips.
So by now you may have heard of this cube that was in Central Park this month. It's allegedly made of about $11 million worth of gold. The cube is an art piece by Niklas Castello, a 44-year-old artist from East Germany who is previously known for his paintings inside of cubes. This cube, titled the Castello Cube, was only displayed in Central Park for 1 day under armed security detail. I first encountered news about this cube when I saw these tweets objecting to this ostentatious display of wealth during a time of extreme economic precarity for most of America. And as a former New Yorker, my first thought was, who the hell commissioned this? Turns out no one did. Castello orchestrated this entire media stunt as promotion for the launch of his own cryptocurrency. So at least we can be slightly soothed by the knowledge that no public money was spent on this, work. So I hate this, but I want to analyze exactly why I hate it. Castello has compared this cube to Sacre du Monde, a monumental cube of iron and bronze by Piero Manzoni, who you might know better for his more famous work, A Series of Cans of the Artist's Excrement. Manzoni's work was a conceptual critique of capitalism. These cans are a pretty straightforward indictment of mindless consumerism, and an art market that's driven not by the ideas of artists, but by the financial goals of wealthy buyers who see works of art merely as an investment opportunity. Investors whom Manzoni proved would buy literal cans of human if they thought they could later sell it for a profit. And what are crypto and NFTs but a natural progression of this hyper-capitalist mindset? So to see something like this now, in our second Gilded Age, something that is not only a callous display of wealth in a city that is suffering massive income inequality, a crumbling infrastructure, and a pandemic that disproportionately affects the poor and working class, and is also a marketing stunt for a get-rich-quick scheme, it feels so crass to invoke the name of an artist whose entire oeuvre was an explicit rejection of this exact thing. And I hate it. I hate it.
Here are my tips for finding your art style. Number 1. It's going to take time. Don't force it. Be patient with your progress. 2. Look up artists that draw in the art style you are aiming for. Example, cartoony art, more anime, semi-realistic, etc. Take note of the things that make you like their art style, like how they draw the eye, how they do the line art, or how they do the color and shading. Try to incorporate those things into your art. I am not telling you to copy their art style, but rather use them as inspiration for your own. 3. Practice, practice, practice. To be more consistent with your art style, you have to keep practicing.
Hi everybody, welcome to part 1 of a new series where I'm going to teach you how to really get better at art. Today we'll be talking about timed challenges, and I'll show you a little demonstration here, but basically it's just what it sounds like, where you set yourself a time limit, usually 10 to 20 minutes, and you make yourself make a painting or a drawing in that time. I gave myself 20 minutes for this piece, and what this does is really makes you work quickly and expressively, and it doesn't give you time to try to make everything perfect, and so it really gets you to paint more efficiently. This is also a great way to get over artist block, because you're really only committing to 10 to 20 minutes of work, and because you're only doing it for that short of time, you can really give yourself a break on how it turns out. Say you only did it for 10 minutes, so if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to, that's okay. Here's how this turned out for me after about 20 minutes, and I'm actually really happy with how this came out. I hope this was helpful and inspires you to paint something today.
I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, so now I work 24/7.
You know, you're really good. You should be an artist. I actually sell my art. Oh my god, can you draw me, please? I mean, that's not really my I can't even draw a stick figure or a circle. Well, all you really gotta do is practice. First, I'm first. No, you weren't first. You're not first. Can one of you like my comment so my mom thinks I'm famous? You always show off your art. You're such a show-off. I just really like drawing and sharing it with the world. Please teach me how to draw. The channel where I teach you how to draw. Okay, well, can you teach me how to watercolor? I have a YouTube channel where I teach you how to watercolor. Okay, but how can I sell my art like you? Can you teach me how to draw aliens like you? I have a YouTube channel where I teach you